next guest is CindyKubica, and she is a professional speaker, an author, a host, and co-founder of the global online community, Energized Living Today, which reaches tens of thousands of people around the world. Now, she's a stress expert and a whole health energy coach. She's written 7 books, including In Search of Normal, 9.5 Steps to Moving Life from Chaos to Clarity and Breaking Free from Emotional Distress, and Motivation Up Yours, and Here's How from A to Z. Now, in her spare time, Cindy enjoys organic gardening and running everything from 5Ks to marathons, so take it away, Cindy.
Have you ever had one of those years? Well, I had one of those years in 2008. Little did I know that my professional speaking career as I knew it was about to end and a whole new obsession take over my life. I was standing at the back of the ballroom getting ready to go on stage for a keynote on how to transform negative stress into positive energy. And I was so excited. I always like to run and leap on the stage. That way I create energy in the room. But then as I was getting ready, I noticed this horrible burning smell. And I thought, oh no, not again. And then the audience began to applaud, welcoming me to the stage, and the noise from the clapping created this electrical shock wave up and down my arms and my legs. I made for my run, only my legs would not move. I started to panic, and then I remembered, breathe, breathe, Cindy, breathe. Finally, I was able to pry my feet from the floor, and I stumbled to the stage as if I were drunk. I do not know how I made it through that presentation. Over the next several months, I went from doctor to doctor to doctor looking for answers, and all that netted me was a half-dozen guesses and a rainbow of pretty colored pills. My body over the next 14 months began to change. It completely atrophied. My athletic body went from this to this. It was devastating. Finally, one doctor was just convinced it was MS. And he said the treatment that he was going to give me was going to give me my energy back. Wow, was I ever excited. The morning after my first treatment, I woke up with the sensory confusion worse than ever. The light creating that burning smell and sound, the electrical shocks. I stumbled downstairs and I made it to my rocking chair just as my business partner Ferris arrived. He made me some coffee and he came in, and when I reached for the cup, my arm wobbled like this and went behind me. I had no control over the direction of my limbs. Now, at first, I have to admit, it kind of struck me as funny. And then 10 minutes later, my cat Band-Aid jumped into my lap and he put his head under my hand, coaxing me to pet him, and I couldn't move my hand. Then I realized I couldn't move my body. I was paralyzed. Now I began to panic again, and this time deep breathing did not help. The dead weight of my body pulled me over into a slump. And I thought, will I ever be able to pet my kitties again? Will I ever be able to hug my grandchildren again? Will I be able to walk, let alone run, or even drink a cup of coffee on my own? Tears ran down my face, and all I could do is watch them soak into my left pant leg. So how's your body trying to get your attention? Yes, our body's always sending us messages. And you know, my body was trying to send me messages for years. But see, here's what happens to us. We're all so busy trying to eke out a living, trying to take care of our family or make a name for ourselves, that we don't pay attention. That is, until our body begins to scream at us. We have to pay attention now. And when the symptoms start, we have to start investigating. So let me ask you again. How is your body trying to get your attention? Have you been having headaches, What about neck pain, digestive issues, widespread pain, chronic fatigue, unexplained weight gain or weight loss? What's going on with your body? Have you been from doctor to doctor looking for answers and no one has a clue? Have you been treated like it's all in your head? Have you had a rainbow of pretty colored pills, just like I did, only to experience a whole new set of issues they call side effects? Are you at a point where just any medication, you'll take any medication, you will take any diagnosis, as long as you have some kind of answer? You know, I get that. I so get that. When they told me that I had MS, I was thrilled. Not because I had MS, but because I had an answer. I can work with an answer, right? My body was screaming to me, no, but I didn't listen. That is, until the medication made me worse. That day, as I sat there slumped over, I decided to fire all of the doctors who only wanted to drug my symptoms and get healthy. See, this is what Dr. Norm Shealy has to say. He's a neurosurgeon and the inventor of the TENS unit. There is no such thing as a side effect. It's an effect of the drug. So we have to pay attention. We have to do our own investigation. That day, I decided to become a body detective, and I'm inviting you to do the same. Now, big disclaimer here, I'm not asking you to fire your doctor, to quit taking your medication. I am not a doctor, and I'm not trying to treat nor diagnose you. What I am saying to you is please, please, before you do any treatment, and that includes any kind of supplements, do some investigation. Now, here are some facts that you'll want to know. First of all, there are over 1 million medication errors each year, contributing to medical injury and over 7,000 deaths. This is according to Forbes magazine. Now, the Journal of American Medical Association says that 10 to 20% of diagnoses are delayed, missed, or incorrect. And they go on to say that mainstream medicine is the third leading cause of death in America. And that's behind heart disease and cancer. There's another key contributor here that we must pay attention to: the demand for a fast fix. See, I believe that those numbers would not be so high if we weren't in such a hurry to throw a pill at whatever's going on with our body. This is not a high-speed chase. This is your body. You have one body that you get to last throughout your whole lifetime. Honor that body. So right now, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to become your own body detective. If your answer is yes, then welcome to the Academy of Mind-Body Sleuthing. Here are 5.5 steps that you can take to become your own mind-body sleuth and solve the mystery of your health heist. Step 1, motive. Why are you doing this? Not why is this being done to you, but why are you doing this? Are you doing this for your family? Are you doing this for yourself, to get back to work so you can have make an income for your family? Step 2, map the crime scene. Gather all the facts. Now, the first is the clues. The clues are all the symptoms that you're having in your body. The evidence, the diagnostics, the paper trails. You know, that includes getting records of all of the drugs that you've been given. There might be an important clue right there. And the suspects. This would be your usual suspects like genetics or stress, or today, food sensitivities. But now I want to tell you, it's not always Colonel Mustard did it in the kitchen with gluten. There are other suspects out there. Now, food sensitivities might actually be an accomplice, and so may you. Are you a fast fix felon? Are you a smoking gun? We have to look at all of the evidence, map that evidence, so that we can come up with the perfect plan for this unique body. Step 3, the witnesses. Who are the people around you that witness the change in your health? Now, this was one that I did not originally have in this plan until my granddaughter said to me, Nana, how come you're always sitting in the dark and the house is as quiet as a tomb? You used to have the music on all the time. You used to be singing. We were able to map it back 4 years that I'd been doing this. And it was so slow, the progression was so slow that I didn't even notice. And I was able to go back to a drug that I was given that actually causes temporary paralysis and also the sensory confusion. Step number 4, choose your Watson. Who's going to help you on this investigation? You know, this is so key right here, because when you are not feeling well, it's hard to do this alone. And you need someone that's going to help you remain objective. For me, that's my business partner, Ferris. He does great research. And I also have a professional Watson. I really suggest somebody that does integrative health, because that way they can look at both sides of the equation. Step number 5, shed some light on the scene. You know, your mindset is so key to this investigation. Don't allow yourself to get caught up in blame, shame, and disdain, because if you do, you're not going to focus on what's the most important here, and that is to get and stay healthy. You know, you can come up with your own detective name, make it fun, be sure to laugh. Remember this. If you break your arm, it is not the doctor, it is not the cast that heals you. You heal from within. So set yourself up for a successful internal body that is open to healing. How do I know that this works? Because I was able to take my body from this back to this. Am I 100%? No. But I'll tell you, I'm a lot closer than they ever thought I would be. I've run 28 half marathons since they told me I'd never walk again. It can be done. I know it can be done. And now I'm inviting you to go on this journey with me. The all-important half step is this. If you're able, please stand and raise your leg. Raise your foot. Now, you can put that foot down right where you are and do nothing, or you can begin to move forward towards greater health. That's up to you. No one can do that work for you. Now, I am here to help you. I would like to invite you to a free discovery session and a 3-part video where you will learn how you can heal your own body and discover what's really going on before putting a plan of action together. You are invited to the Academy of Mind-Body Sleuthing. Please visit mindbodysleuthing.com to sign up for this free discovery session. I want to get to know a little bit more about you, and the 3-part video series is all about how to do mind-body sleuthing. So please join me. It's time to arrest your symptoms once and for all.
Very nice, Cindy. Great job. Come on over here. That was awesome. So, did a great job. And
Thank
I
you.
know one of the things that you said earlier was Nana. So, why don't you tell your little Nana story there?
Okay. What about my Nana story? I have,
Well,
you know, I have
you're
so many-
actually a grandma, and you don't
Yeah.
look like a grandma.
Oh, thank
so I
you,
know
thank you.
when we were talking yesterday, you actually were willing to share a hole in your arm, which isn't normally polite. But do you want to just? I mean, you've not only overcome an incredibly challenging health issue and you're active as a marathoner, and you look incredible. So, you know, I know you shared your age yesterday. That's all it was. It's like, I think it's like astonishing when people see you. It's like, holy cow. And you've also got these super swanky, sexy shoes that you're wearing too that we're going to show off.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I am 59 years old. I have 2 grandchildren. My granddaughter Sarah is 22. She is the love of my life. And my grandson Chase is 15, and I could eat him with a spoon. He's like, oh my gosh. I love these kids beyond.
Yeah. And do you want to lift up your fancy shoes here? All right. Here we go. Look at these babies. Woo! Pretty fancy.
Yeah. I tap them together and I'm instantly home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Very nice. And you also had a really brief story about how you talked about how you fired your doctor. You fired a bunch of them, but also tell the story about how your doctor fired you.
Yes, that was really interesting because I'd been doing all this work, and what I realized, Mike, is that many times doctors, when they find out that you're doing all this work, they actually get mad at you.
Yeah.
And if you say you're taking a holistic point of view, they start condemning you.
Yeah.
Well, I had this one doctor who was fabulous, and he watched me over several months. And the last time that I went into his office, he pulled me over to the window of the waiting room and he said, Cindy, I want you to look out into the waiting room at all these people. They're in wheelchairs, they're walking with canes, and I'm doing drug therapy with them. That's what I could do for you. But see, the work that you're doing is not what most people are willing to do. Yeah. And you're better off than all of them. So go continue to get healthy. You do not need me.
Yeah.
So he fired me.
Yeah.
I
what
loved
a great story. What a great story.
Yeah. And that's what you can experience.
Yeah.
That's what you can experience too.
Right. Yeah. So the most important thing right now is, again, just take one half step forward. Head over to mindbodysleuthing.com and start on your journey. And I can also speak personally that I went through an enormous amount of work where I had traditional treatments done while I had cancer, and it is almost exactly 3 years since I left the hospital, but I incorporated integrative and holistic treatments along the way and certainly afterwards as well. So I'm living proof that it works too.
It is. It's here. Living proof right here, two of us.
So officially we're not giving you medical advice as you had said earlier. We're not telling you to not do anything or not listen to your doctors, but this is definitely something worth investigating when you head over to mindbodysleuthing.com, learn more, and gain access to Cindy Kubica's strategies and her systems.